region of Strathclyde. Not so much a region as a little world clustered round the bowl of the River Clyde. And at the centre, a city, Glasgow. Over 1 million people live in this conurbation, their home, workplace and market. Busy at all times, it is gripped by a twice-daily spasm as the working day begins and ends with a surge of humanity. Buses are the worker bees in this crowded hive. A fleet of about 1,000 serving the city, unglamorous, unsung, unsentimentalized, and essential. To Glaswegians, their green and yellow livery is as familiar as the strip of a favourite football team. The team manager in this case is Strathclyde's Passenger Transport Executive, a statutory body which acts as the regional authority's agent for public transport over an area of 5,000 square miles, working closely with British Rail, the nationalised Scottish Bus Group and the independent bus operators, the airlines, Caledonian McBrain with its fleet of sea ferries, and directly operating the city's bus fleet and the new underground trains.
The coordination of public transport, particularly in this dense conurbation, is most important. I think if we look at the concept, there's only one set of travelling public, and they're not interested whether a bus is red or green or a train is blue. They just want the most efficient system, as cheaply as possible and as reliable as possible. The Passenger Transport Executive is therefore charged with developing a total plan of public transport to satisfy the needs of the people. And in this way, it is the only body to bring all the operators together in terms of pricing, marketing, and general performance of public transport.
Well, with the change in the population distribution within the region and the growth in vehicle ownership and the change in travel patterns, it was necessary to take stock of the role of public transport and see how well or otherwise it was serving the community in which it's based. This led to the development of two projects after we had looked to see how well we could build on what we had. These two projects, first of all, was the development of the Argyll line by making use of a tunnel right underneath the Argyll Street. We were able to link the railway networks north and south of the River Clyde for the first time, and that effectively integrated the two suburban networks north and south of the Clyde. And secondly, by looking at the Victorian legacy of the Glasgow Underground, we were able to see how that could play a very vital link within the development of public transport within the heart of the region, by linking it with bus, with rail, with car parks, and by serving the local communities in which it lay.
Glasgow has been lucky with its holes in the ground. Other tunnels reach out under some of its busiest streets, like shadows on an X-ray plate, along the east-west axis of the city. Once, they were traversed by suburban steam trains. Older citizens remember the choking smoke hole that was Central Low-Level Station, until Dr. Beeching was brought in to make British Rail pay and perform surgery on this and other unprofitable lines. At last it was realized that this half-forgotten throughway was a hidden asset too precious to be abandoned. Now it emerges reinvigorated as the Argyll line, so-called because much of its 5-mile length runs under the famous Argyll Street. The pride of the line is a new station created halfway along Argyll Street, deep down amidst some of the biggest department stores in the west of Scotland. For 2 whole years, the most densely thronged part of Argyll Street itself was to be barred to virtually all wheeled vehicles, except the kiddie's pushchair and the shopping trolley. Harty, the second completely new station on the Argyll line, rises high above ground on its embankment where the tracks break ground. In fact, it's a twin, built over the spot where Underground and Argyll line converge. and a new underground station occupies the same site. The Argyle line joins for the first time the network of electric railways which was separated until now by the Great Divide of the River Clyde. North and south, it seemed, never the twain should meet. Now tunnellers have supplied the missing link. Noise, dust, din and discomfort made manifest. And for shopkeepers, perhaps moments of secret panic. When will it all end? Once a year, there was respite in Argyle Street. The workers departed. Drills were dumb. Pile drivers paused. And the festival began. Lights sparkled. Here comes Santa Claus. Glasgow, just for a time, got its favourite street back as a Christmas present. And there were other free shows. After all, watching men at work in holes in the ground is one of the great spectator sports. The astonished populace gaped as this miniature mock Jacobean castle, sitting in St. Enoch's Square like a plump red hen, found itself floating on air, or rather on a concrete raft, while work on the new underground station continued below. Much of the work was done far from public gaze, like the burrowing junction at Kelvin Hall, linking Argyle line with the Blue train system. Unseen also, the Yellow Giant, paving a base for the permanent way. A hungry monster chomping concrete and leaving behind it as it inched along a perfectly molded and reinforced ribbon of track bed. Midway through the chaos of construction, they put on a pageant. A weekend of jolly getting to know your public transport. Everyone chips in, from the Transport Museum to the firms supplying the very latest equipment for the underground.